and I ain't even on my second win. I'm coalition, thick and thin, 100, keep it genuine. South Bronx, my origin, and man, these dudes act feminine. They sweet like saccharin, and all I need in this world sin is Christ in my life. I rise up now, I'm back again.
Being a songwriter, I take a lot of pride in being a songwriter. I take a lot of pride in being a producer. I mean, because the guys that I've had the pleasure of working with and learning from Sweets to Mondo Beats, Jazzy Faze to Puff, Diddy, whatever you want to, whatever name he going by, like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of these producers that I was able to sit around, the Gene Nelsons, from on the A&R standpoint, you gotta want to be the best, and you can't take criticism as an insult. You gotta take criticism as, like, especially from people that's done it before you. You know, I have a saying, like, I don't take constructive criticism from anybody that hasn't constructed anything. Because everybody's gonna have something to say if you win or lose. They're gonna have something to say, so you might as well go for it. But if I'm gonna take constructive criticism, I take it from people that's constructed something. I take, like, the first hit record I ever had was Puff Daddy, R. Kelly, Satisfy You. And I remember when I was on my way to the Bahamas, because I'll even back it up and give you the whole spill. I was in Atlanta and I had to get a job. And I went and got a job at UPS. And I did the training and everything. I worked at UPS 3 weeks. I got off the bus coming home, you know, and I was living on the top of a hill, and I looked up into the sky when I got off that bus, and I said, God, you did not bring me all the way to Atlanta, Georgia to work for UPS. I could have did that in New York. I could have stayed being a security guard. Like, what is this? What part of the game is this? I came here to be a prolific writer, a rapper, get a deal, do all of these things. So I said this, boldly went to the throne, as they say. I walked up the hill, went home, checked my answering machine, and it was Puff on my answering machine. This is not a test, this is Puff Daddy, call me back. And I'm like, who's playing on my phone? Like, I ain't got time for this. I gotta be to work at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm already frustrated. But I called back and it was him. So long story short, he asked me what I was doing that Friday. I said nothing. He sent me a plane ticket to the Bahamas. He said, come with me to the Bahamas and we're gonna work. I get to the Bahamas, everybody's there. That was another part of the game that I didn't know, that like R&B singers always have songwriters. And I knew Puff don't write every line he's ever said, but I've seen him write rhymes, so don't get it twisted. He will write the concept out and everything out and send you on your way with a blueprint. He definitely will do that. But from CeeLo Green, Busy Bone, Mace, my song was out there. Like anybody in the game you want to think of, they were out there writing. They was out there working on this album. Little Kim, Little C's, everybody was out there. So I'm out there with Puff. This is my first time meeting him. Well, not my first time meeting him, but this is my first time where he knows who I am more than anything else. And I get out there and the first beat he hands me is Satisfy You. So when I hear it, I'm like, loonies, I got 5 on it, you know? But then he was like, no, Roger, when you hear this beat, I want you to touch the fiber of a woman's soul. I want you to get into their DNA. I want you to get into their minds and analyze their emotions. And just the way he was describing how he wanted women to feel when they heard this record, I was like, okay, cool. But this is where I say I take being a songwriter seriously. I wrote Satisfy You 5 times. 5, 3 verses a piece, times. First time he denied the whole record. No, I'm just scratching the surface. Wasn't nothing going on. He wasn't really, I guess, feeling it. Next time, I think he liked like 4 bars out of the whole record. Third time, he didn't like it, and he told me to get rid of the 4 bars that he did like from the last one. The 4th time, this is where I'm feeling crazy. I remember walking on the beach in the Bahamas and my man Slam was like, yo, what's wrong, man? And plus I had a lot of issues, like bills ain't paid. I'm in the Bahamas, like my stuff can't get kicked out my apartment while I'm gone. Like, what am I doing in the Bahamas? My rent ain't even paid. I saw Puff, Mark Curry, shouts to my man Mark Curry. Mark Curry wrote a monster. And in front of everybody, Puff threw, I don't know how many stacks at him in front of everybody. Had everybody, like, everybody pin game was out. They see him throwing cash at people in front of, somebody throw, I don't know, maybe 10 stacks. I don't know what it was, but he threw it at him in front of everybody. I was like this, oh, I gotta get it. I gotta get this done. I remember even before I came, my man Farouk told me, he said, if you mess up this opportunity, your mother gonna starve, your father gonna starve, your brother gonna starve, your sister gonna starve, because this just doesn't happen for people. And it's happened for you. So you better go out there. Don't be out there trying to be all cool and all of this. No, don't be hard-headed. Focus. Like when I write to this day, I still write with that same focus. If that first bars from when I was 18 working with Sweets, if those bars ain't official where they can stand the test of time, they not gonna get recorded. And that's how real it is. But fast forward back to the story. So Puff is not feeling to satisfy you. I'm on the beach. Slam's like, yo, what's good with you? I'm trying to figure everything out. Who do I see coming down? Mita, Hillary. I forgot the other ladies that was there. I'm sorry, ladies. But Hillary, Weston, and Mita, they were there, and we're still friends to this day. And I was sitting there, and they was like, what's up, Rod? And I said, what do y'all want? And they was like, yo, what's wrong with you? And I was like, nah, not like what do y'all want talking to me, but what do women want from a man? What's the issue? Like, what's going on? Like, and we sat on the beach and we talked and we talked. And I don't know if it was the things they were saying or the tranquility around us and the oceans crashing and all of this stuff. But when I tell you, I jumped up and I said, I got it. And I ran to the studio and I wrote it out. And I wrote out Satisfy You. The next morning, I didn't record it when I wrote it. I wrote it and I said, you know what? Plus Puff had us working on shifts. If it wasn't your shift, you couldn't use the studio anyway. So I was a morning shift guy. So I went back to my hotel and I perfected it. When I tell you I perfected these three verses, perfected them. I come in bright and early, studio. I'm sitting there by myself waiting for my engineer to come. I'm in the day room. I'm sitting there getting all of it together like this. All right, I'm ready to say it. Who walks in the room? J-Lo. And yes, she looks amazing at night, daytime, video shoot, model shoot, whatever you want to do. She walked in glowing like an angel. I'm looking at her like, and she said, hey, how you doing? I said, I'm fine. She said, what are you doing? I said, I'm actually writing a song. She said, can I hear it? I said, yeah, you can hear it. I pressed play on the beat, and the first woman to hear Satisfy You was Jennifer Lopez. I said all three verses, and Jennifer looked at me, jumped up, and ran out the room. Now I'm standing there like, what did I just do that made Jennifer Lopez jump up and run away? She comes back dragging Diddy. Diddy like, yo, Rod, what you say to my girl? Da, 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 da. I'm like, yo, I just said this. And she said, say it again. I hit the beat again, and I said it again. And she was looking at me like, and it took me back to when he said he wanted the DNA of a woman's emotions. He wanted all of this. And he looked at her and said, you like this, babe? And she said, I love this. And he said, congratulations, Rod, you sold a song. And he walked out the room and I'm all happy. I'm like, ah. And he came back like 10 minutes later. I ain't gonna say the number, but threw a couple stacks on the kid. Just threw money at me. Like, yo, good work, man. Stay motivated. Keep at it. And even when that album was finished, I didn't even know that it was the single. I knew I had the first single, but I didn't know it was the second single until I went to the Biggie party. But that's another story. I'll tell y'all about that later. But stay on your grind. And if the bars ain't timeless, don't record them. Timeless.